All right, everyone, it is Friday, and you know what that means. It is time for manufacturing e-commerce success, and I am Damon Pistolka, one of the co-hosts of this humble show today, and I'm going to turn it over to my friend, co-host Kurt Anderson, brother from another mother. Take it away, Kurt.
Dude, happy Friday, Damon. Man, are you sitting down for this one?
I am sitting down today.
Like, man, is this oh my God. Can you just feel it?
Yeah, we're ready to go.
You just feel it. Mark Vanderwarf, dude, how are you, man?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much for having me here today, Kurt and Damon.
Oh, my goodness gracious. What an honor. What a privilege. Way overdue. And so, you know what, Damon, sit back and get comfortable. Everybody just sit back and get comfortable because, Mark, first question, pop quiz. How many businesses? I want you to list every business that you own, right? I want to hear. I'm just kidding. What? You got a lot going on. We're going to dive in.
Yeah.
We'll dive into your list in 1 minute. But before we go there, I do have another question. So we got Mark Vanderwarf, and just dude, fierce advocate for manufacturers, just an amazing human being. We've got so much covered today. But before we go there, I sent you a bunch of questions. I'm not asking any of them. I got a different one for you. You ready?
Yep. I love it.
Not asking a single one. I'm just kidding. So, hey, Mark, when you're a little guy growing up, who was your hero? Who did you look up to? Who was just like that person that just worshiped the ground you walked on? Who was your hero as a little guy growing up?
Absolutely, my father. My dad was my hero. I mean, absolutely, 100%. I was. Besides that, I was raised by wolves in Northeast Wisconsin, and him and my mom were pioneer, frontier spirit all the way. I mean, from making candles from scratch to, I mean, you know it. And my mom was just an absolute integrator, and my dad was a complete visionary, and they just tackled everything. It was amazing. Like I still have the best parents ever. Like of course you don't get to change parents, but you know, I wouldn't if I could.
Well, all right, great answer. I love it. Pioneering. And so what's dad's name, please?
Gary Vanderwarf.
All right.
If you check my feed out and you go back to Father's Day, you'll see a poem that I wrote about him being a millwright. And,
is that right?
And I'm a third generation millwright. So my grandfather was a millwright. My mother's dad was a millwright.
Right.
She married a millwright, and then she gave birth to a millwright. So I mean, God bless that woman.
God bless that woman. So it's in your blood, in your DNA, just can't help it. So, all right, big shout out to Gary. So when Gary catches this on a replay, Damon, what do you got?
Well, we need mom's name too.
Deborah.
Yeah. Gary and Deborah. Yeah. So that's cool as heck how you grew up in Northeast Wisconsin, right?
Yep.
What was one thing? Because I got to just understand growing up pioneer lifestyle. Yeah. What was one thing that you grew up with that was common that other people would go, wow, that's not the way that we grew
up? Yeah, that's pretty easy. Several things that were common, but I mean, I would just say like the access or the immediacy of survival, like generally, but like that meant like hunt, catch, kill, eat, sleep, groom, like yourself, right?
Yeah.
And that meant, you know, just any First Amendment, you know, weapons, Second Amendment stuff. Like, I mean, like it was like, you know, the Constitution was a big deal, like to pioneers. It still is. Like, you know, you'll see it like on the wall at the dining room table, right next to the, you know, the guy with praying hands and the lady with the praying hands, you know, like I mean, it's everywhere. I actually just sent a bunch of those coffee mugs with those pictures on them out for Christmas to people.
Well, absolutely love it. Okay, so hey, and speaking of Northeast Wisconsin, Damon, how about this handsome guy here? So Greg Mishu in the house. Can't wait. You know, Greg, less than a month, 4 weeks from today, you're going to be stuck with, we're all going to be in person here, Mark, right? Hanging out in Austin, Texas. Is that right?
You are.
That is the idea. Industrial Marketing Summit in Austin, Texas. We're Shabam is a proud sponsor, and I'm been asked to help to facilitate the marketing automation roundtable, business automation roundtable, the CRM stuff, and all that. So
awesome.
Yeah, you know. Anyways, I'll let you guys drive the bus. I can
Well,
Wow.
and let's just keep. Well, let's go here for a second. Okay. First off, I had the honor and privilege. You know, you and I have been on LinkedIn for a long time. I had the privilege of meeting you in person.
That was amazing.
And dude, I tell you, you made such a lasting impression on me. It was just and what a difference. Let's go here for a second, Mark, because I want to dive into you, your background.
Please.
You unleashed, unraveled, dropped the curtain on Shabam last year at the Industrial Marketing Summit. But before we dive into that, just let's talk about manufacturing first. You talked about grandpa being a millwright, your dad, you know, like, was there any point in time you're like, you know what, I'm going to kind of break, like, I don't know about this manufacturing thing, or is it just like you just had no choice? Like you were all in on manufacturing?
Oh, I don't think I had a choice. I think you know, God just put it in me right away. Like he was like, how things work, insatiable curiosity. You know, there's no can't or won't, like there's just do. Like as early as I could remember it was, you know, construct connects and Legos and how things are made. And you know, but it was also bio and tech and everything, right? Because like microwaves came out, TVs, you know, flat screen TVs, video game systems. I mean, I was the true 80s child, you know, like I don't come home until the lights are on, you know, like the Tony Hawk's first skateboard. I mean, I saw that shout out to Chris and the automation ladies and stuff. I mean, just stuff like that. I mean, and then moving to Southern California and I get to meet and hang out with, you know, a lot of idols and things and just find out like these are my friends now and these people are just showing up and doing stuff and they're changing the world, you know. It's amazing. So
yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's in my blood.
All right, awesome, Damon. We got a couple of people. Harry's in the house here.
Yeah, today. We do. Let's give it. First of all, Greg's giving a shout out to the Industrial Marketing Summit. He says it's going to be great. And then Harry, thanks for stopping by today. Harry Flares, happy Friday. Thanks again. We got someone that can't see your name. They're watching from Pakistan. Thank you. Love it that you're listening today. We got Andrew Plymer.
Yeah, Plymer. Oh, Andrew, nice.
Almost known Mark for almost 2 decades, and he says you're a great guy. Well, we agree, Andrew. All you other people there, thanks for dropping the comments. Keep them coming.
That's right. Drop a note in the chat box. Let Mark know that you're here. Connect with Mark on LinkedIn. I tell you, he puts out amazing, incredible content. Just guy of integrity, just passionate, helping other folks. So, Mark, we're going to dive into this serial entrepreneur on steroids that you are. I want to before we get there. Okay, in your DNA, manufacturing, it's in your blood, pioneering family up in Northeast Wisconsin. Take us through like 20s, 30s, like, you know, what kind of led you, you know, on your entrepreneurial journey? How on earth does somebody own 27 DBAs? Like, just walk us through a little bit of like, what really got the fire burning for your entrepreneurial journey?
Oh, man, yeah. I was around entrepreneurs, my uncles, my aunts, my grandparents, everybody I knew. We actually grew up my preteen years in the southern suburbs of Chicago. So, and actually right near the Indiana border, a little town called Crete. And then Chicago Heights, Sauk Trail, Salmonock, Plano, bologna sandwich, all that stuff, you know. And I threw a joke in there. And if you know, you know. But yeah, and so, you know, I also, part of my journey around the Great Lakes and everything is I found out that there's about probably 12 different ways to say A.
Yeah, right.
A.
Yeah.
They spell them different and everything, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, so started, I mean, our neighbors, I was like 6 years old and we had an elderly lady that was widowed and she was my backyard neighbor, right? We lived on a corner and our backyards kind of were cornered up to each other. And she would pick weeds and garden and cut things. And all she did all day was tool around in the garden, sit out there and, you know, sip lemonade or whatever, you know, and she would engage with me because my sandbox was one of those green turtle sandboxes with the lid.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I had if you watch, oh, what is that show? The Goldbergs or Gold.
Yeah, Goldberg's,
I think
right?
it's the Goldbergs. Yeah.
Yeah, like 1980 something or
Yeah.
whatever. Like
That
take
was it.
that show, that house, those people to come and go. Like that show was my early 10, 12 years. Like crazy. But that lady, you know, she took it on me, and, you know, she'd ask me to come help her with stuff. And then when she went on trips or to visit other ladies, she would ask me to weed the garden and do stuff. And she started with paying me. She started with paying me with snacks and stuff, and then paying me with, you know, money or helping. You know, she was just sweet to my parents and everything. And she had lived there because we lived in the same house that my grandparents lived in. And so we moved into their house, and so she had, you know, spent years and years and years with my grandfather and my grandmother, you know, Ed and Carol, and the whole family, um my aunt Barb and my uncle Ed, and just like all this stuff. And so then we moved there. Anyways, that's where it started. So then it started lawn care, picking weeds, doing, you know, manual labor type stuff, but also just organizing. And then occasionally just to spend time with her and like chat. She would like compensate me for like being her friend. And I mean, like, here's this, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how old she was, but I mean, she had to be in her 70s or 80s or something.
Right.
And here I am, I'm like, you know, 7, 8 years old, whatever, right? 6 years old. Like, yeah. But we were friends, you know? So she was like one of my first early, like, friends besides my parents and stuff that I remember. And then we had neighbors across the street, you know, and the Cannons and the Capolettis and all these other people. Like, you know, it was just like really tight neighborhood. We had the baseball diamond across the street, skateboard ramp parks, and all the stuff. I mean, it's crazy. I've lived the best 9 lives anybody can live. Anyways, teen years, move up to Northeast Wisconsin. My dad enrolled in a Bible college in order to to start a camp ministry and learn how to do that and figure that out. And in the process, you know, I was exposed to campers and camp ministry and people going in and out. And then, you know, going from the city life. I mean, when I was in kindergarten, it was literally, you had to walk through a metal detector, and, you know, there was 3 classes, each had 1,000. So there's like 3,000 kids in my kindergarten. Right.
Wow.
And then went to like very large private schools in the Chicago suburbs, and then move up to Northeast Wisconsin to little bitty tiny private school that had like 40 people in the whole school, K through 12, you know? So then I go to like Little House on the Prairie, like schoolhouse style stuff.
Yeah.
And I go from metal detectors and everything to show and tell with like knives and machetes and bow and arrow and all this stuff. Right.
Bringing dead animals.
Right. And,
That was
you
my
know,
life. Yeah.
got my hunting license when I was 12 years old,
Yep.
you know, but started way before that. I mean, I learned to drive when I was 9, got my first motorcycle out of the classified ads in milk crates, you know, and helped my dad helped me put it together, but just by going and buying the manual from the dealership, you know, like, so, you know, so then I got into extreme sports and motocross and skateboarding and snowboarding and skiing and making up our own sports. I mean, we used to ice the deer trails on the hill and put on our hockey skates and race down the deer trails. Right. And then we're like doing tricks, like bouncing off of the trees. It was like parkour meets like downhill mountain biking on hockey skates, you know?
Yeah.
And then we're putting ski ropes behind snowmobiles. My dad's got a front end loader, skid loader thing, and we're building tracks with bumps and jumps and stuff. And we're taking the snowmobiles on loops, and we're making like, you know, snowboard, motocross, hybrid sports, you know, like I made my first, you know, not my first, but I made one of my early bi-directional skateboards, warped the wood myself, and like machined trucks out of, you know, on a not a CNC, but on a drill lathe and all that stuff. You know, boat propeller shop, learned stick MIG TIG welding when I was like 13. And then my dad went to Germany to build a paper machine for a pretty good construction company, industrial construction, called C.R. Meyer and Sons in Wisconsin. And he worked for them for a lot of years, and also Bolt, BOLDT. And anyways, so he was gone for a whole entire summer, and he left me the keys to the truck and the keys of the business. And he was like, he told my mom, take him wherever he needs to go and just let him do his thing, and he's gonna keep the business alive. Well, not only did I keep it alive and weld all the parts and fix it, and so I was selling and doing at 15 years old, right? And
Wow.
so built helping my dad's, inland propeller business. And then through my 20s, so I made it to like number 7 in the state of Wisconsin for racing motocross. And then
did you really?
Yeah. While I was on like chess club and in the music in band, I was playing marching band with an electric guitar with a battery with a battery speaker.
Marching band with an electric guitar.
Yeah, one of the big songs was La Bamba. It was like we were doing that on the football field.
That is awesome. That is absolutely awesome.
Yeah. So it's like just went through all of that stuff. And then but so the motocross thing, like, so they introduced the triple jump when like Jeremy McGrath started doing cross ups and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And he had a Honda CR 125 and then a 250 and all this. And that was before 4-strokes, right? So this stuff's just screaming. And it was just like we built a triple jump in our group called the Dirt Dancers, and they're still alive and kicking. Like Dirt Dancers, like Go Dirt Dancers, there's still a team out there racing and stuff.
Nice.
Anyways, built a triple jump, and I ended up botching it practicing, and then messed up my shoulder, messed up my knee while I'm recuperating from that. A neighborhood girlfriend of mine, Elizabeth, she came over and she was teaching me songs on acoustic guitar. Well, that never left. So I got into music while I was healing up,
right?
Rock climbing and all that other stuff. Cool. I was starting guard on the basketball team. I was just talking with my friend Mike Dunford. He's serial entrepreneur and stuff as well in Michigan, and worship pastor at an awesome church down there too with Daniel Patz and stuff. So, I grew up. I had like the Rich Dad Poor Dad. I had I was just exposed to everything. It was just I wouldn't trade it for anything. Like the memories I have and all the people I've known and everything I've learned, it's been amazing. So then in the 20s, I was like, started doing recordings, public shows, live events. I learned, outside of major cities, these little towns surrounding major cities just love to bring in people. They're like, come over here. We'll do whatever you want. So we started doing, going to like town halls and like community things and get involved in like, I didn't realize it was politics at the time. I was just like, oh, I want to play. I want my band to play, So then started putting on these little festivals and things. And then, long story short, like started helping produce those later in life. And so I was kind of like a band manager, producer, artist, and repertoire. Started writing and recording when I was like 16. I started doing making DJ music under the name DJ Tracer, and was releasing that stuff down in like the Chicago warehouse scene. So we were doing like technos and raves and stuff. And then, so then went to Detroit a few times for some of those D-Town house parties and stuff. And then, it was just like, it just kept going and escalating. And meanwhile, I have this whole life in manufacturing. I got into the building trades, as a millwright, and I was in my early 20s, and surprised my dad just by showing up to one of his jobs one time, and like he's reading the name roster, and he's like, Mark Vanderwarf, and I could just see the steam coming out of his ears. It was like, what are you doing here, son? You're supposed to be in college. I was like, aren't you proud of me, Dad? And he's like, I am not. He's like, I want better for you. And so anyways,
I'll tell you, that's awesome. Let's grab a couple comments here.
Yeah, we got a couple of them. So David Turner says, glad your beard is growing back. First of all, make sure
you know what? And for the record, I think you're handsome either way, Mark. I think with or without, you're just spot on.
I mean, I know you guys are messing with me because it's actually Jim Mayer that shaped.
Yeah.
It, but, I mean, it's so funny. I've run it over the years. Jim and I, people have called me Jim so many times at shows.
Right.
People have called him Mark. And I finally met him in person for the first time. And it was actually Chris Lukey that thought,
kind of put that together.
Well, no, he's went up to Jim and he was telling him stuff, and then he came up to me and he was like, "Yeah, I just told you all this." I'm like,
"Oh,
what?" And then he's like, "Wait, you're not Jim, you're Mark." And then he was like, "You guys got to meet each other." And he like grabs us, and we were at the same networking event, and then we met each other at what is now MDM West.
And I saw the picture. I saw you posted the picture of the two of you next to each other. So I you know what? I think you guys both look super handsome with or without. So
yeah, we got another one from Harry. He's talking about, I grew up, Mark, on Hammond and Hedgewish border.
Yeah.
And John's Pizzeria in Calumet City was our favorite place.
Oh yeah. Awesome, Harry. Thanks for sharing that. Our favorite place was not too far from that, but it's now a chain, but it's called Aurelio's Pizza. And if you know, you know, and if you don't, it's just the best kept secret in Chicago. But Aurelio's Pizza, the original location in Crete, Joe Aurelio is the founder, and my uncles grew up with his kids and met and then anyways, I had a franchise opportunity with them and stuff. I wish I would have took it, but
right. Well, hey, we got one more from Andrew.
Andrew. He said, "Love you, Mark. Do you still have that White album?"
Yes, the Beatles White album in the plastic, like brand new.
Damon, I'm so old. I had the White album on 8-track. So how's that one for you, Mark? So we're going way back. So all right, dude, man, like time is flying, and we got a ton to cover today. So let's fast forward. So Industrial Marketing Summit last year, you dropped the curtain on Shabam.
Yes.
And you've got a couple other exciting things that we're going to talk about. Let's do a little reveal party. First off, let's talk about Shabam. Who and what is Shabam? How are you making the world a better place here, man?
Oh, thanks so much. Yeah. So Shabam is, simplify and scale. That's a way for businesses to tackle business and marketing automation, business development. So, products, services, and solutions can all be done with Shabam as your back end. And, audience awareness, eyeballs, right? So the awareness piece, so all your top funnel marketing, all that communication piece can all be done in Shabam as well. And then we help you close the gap between timing and price in order to make a sale. And so all of those, I believe, businesses run by communications, and those clear communications and those processes to help you close the gap, help you make sales, right? And so those conversions, those sales that you make are part of branding, educate, surprise, delight, know, like, and trust, all that. But I've distilled that all down to just warmth and confidence. So is there warmth? Is there human integrity there? Is there, I know you, I like you, all those things are rolled into that, but I think it's just warmth, right? And then I think you can put know, like, and trust and all that stuff, paying, budget, decision, fulfillment, post-sell. I'm giving away all my Sandler secrets there, but again, if you know, right? But there's so many great sales trainings out there, but what I'm saying is that can all be distilled into confidence, right? That integrity, that trust. Will I do what I say I'm going to do? If you shake my hand, yes, you need to get it in ink. You absolutely have to. You got to make contracts. So Shabam is 30 plus tools built and supported on the high level platform. And we are a high level implementation and integrator. Okay. So at the highest level of high level, you've got all that, right? That's the bare bones, the back end of Shabam. We've also added in lots of other tools and tips and tricks, and we provide support, automation, AI, and AI agents and all those things, right? But we take it one step further with my coaching and consulting, and differentiator being industrial marketing, industrial, critical industry sectors, right? So anybody that was alive and kicking during the pandemic, that got a little note from their CEO that they could be on the freeway, those are our people, right?
Nice. Those essential folks. And what I love is, so you're flashing the colors there of High Level. We just had Sean Clark, the founder and CEO of High Level.
Yeah.
He was on our show a month ago.
Yep.
And just what a dynamic solution. And so, again, you're doing great work helping manufacturers. And Damon, we've got Gail is in the house here today.
I know. We got Gail Robertson stopping by.
Gail.
We just have to stop for a moment because Gail stopped.
We got to just take a moment and savor it, Gail. We're sending you tons of love.
Right? Rolling out the carpet.
Yeah. Hello, all. Businesses are run by communication. So true. And FYI, Dave Chrysler, the Chrysler Club. He understands that too. We talk a little bit with Dave about systems.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. Andrew, again, he's like, I'm using Shabam for my gig and scheduling for students and invoicing. Had made my process super easy.
Hey, well done, Mark. Well done, Andrew.
Job, Andrew.
Making people's life. Look how he's making people, making the world a better place. So, Mark, great job. Again, we're coming to the top of the hour. So
yes, we are.
If you're jumping to a next call, so make sure you connect with Mark on LinkedIn. Go to his website, check it out. He's doing all sorts of amazing things. Gail says, "Love you guys." Grab that one, Damon.
Oh, it says, "Love you guys. Thank you for the warm welcome." Thanks for being here.
We got to connect. We need Gail. It's been way too long. We need to get Gail. We need to connect. You need to get back on the show here.
Yeah,
we miss you. So, Mark. Okay. So, folks, industrial. Anything else that you want to share as far as like ideal clients that should be connecting with you about Shabam? Because we're going to slide in. You've got another exciting announcement that we're going to dive into. Anything else you want to share about Shabam for folks that should be reaching out to you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, anybody that has they're flying solo or a small team, like we definitely synergize well with folks that are anywhere from $50 that they're earning to $50 million, right? And worked with several Fortune 1000 companies, integrated Shabam alongside of other systems. I've worked with Salesforce and HubSpot and Dynamics and Pipedrive and all the CRMs, and then Monday, Rike, Asana, ClickUp, all these other project management tools, Microsoft Project and all that stuff, Airtable, building and synergizing all these things, integrating, connecting, zapping, APIs, all that. So if any of that stuff is confusing or you don't, you're not comfortable with like OAuth 2 open REST APIs or webhooks or, what's a UTM and all that stuff, right? Like we can help with all those things. But basically, if you want to connect your business plan to your customer's customer all the way through that customer experience journey, and you want clarity of mission and vision and story, right? And you want to connect that and make sure that communicates entirely through your culture in your company, your vendors, your prospects, your converts, right? Like you don't need leads, you don't need sales, you don't need any, you don't even need 1,000 raving fans. I'm going to disagree on all that. You need converts. You want people that have a paradigm shift that align with your faith, freedom, and country and all that stuff, right? So I believe in investing in these critical industry business owners that are creating companies that build community and culture and do all these things that affect their communities, their cities, that affect their counties, their country, and ultimately these continents, right? And so I believe in investing in a powerful, small, few amount of people that are believing in stewardship, sustainability, longevity, human-centric, planet-friendly people, processes, and technology, that are investing in others. That these people are the most servant-style leadership, unsung, thankless heroes that I've ever met in my entire life. And everybody has a distorted view of them. And what makes them so powerful is that they power through.
Yep.
And they take it on the chin. They let people talk bad about them. They let people think that it's all about the money. People make up their own narrative, and these people power through anyways. And they are the salt and light of the earth. These people are some of the best people I've ever met, the hardest workers. And I'm also met those same type of people on the front end, on the blue collar, that are, the crew leads, the foremans, the superintendents of, the trades or the craft or the thing, right? And I saw a disconnect because I came up on my tools all the way through into the business side, all the way through project planning, estimating, all that stuff, business development. And then I went and marketing and sales. And then I went to work for a small boutique acquisition and merger, A&M, and help, now I help scale and grow companies. Right. And so, Shabam is the system that kind of gives me the 80-20 that I put in there. And so that customer journey, we call it a CXM instead of a CRM, because it go way beyond the sale, and it's way more meta than that. Right. So if you guys want clarity on conception of connecting all these Tony Hawk skateboard tricks, and just you want to hit 1,000, 3,000, 10,000 points, like, and you want to do curve rails and you want to slide through and hook it all together, like that's what we do with Shabam. High level, I got to meet all the founders at Level Up Summit. Got to talk with everybody, have the support of their dev team. Got to meet the great people at HL Pro Tools and Extendedly and a bunch of these other service solutions. We can help you put all these things together. Big announcement came out, custom objects, which means that you can now build just about anything you want in the platform. So custom opportunities, custom fields, custom everything. So we help you get up and running, get started, stay supported, do all that stuff with Shabam. And that brings me into the segue of the sustainability piece.
We got an exciting announcement. Damon, how about Harry's comment here? Let's
Harry's got Shabam. Great name, Mark. What kind of predictive analytics can your service offer?
Shabam. Oh, wow. Predictive analytics is amazing because it's like preventative maintenance, right?
Yeah.
So because it's an all-in-one system, and you can also feed in any other data that you want or take any data out of it. So we don't charge per seat. We don't charge for data. We don't charge so it's unlimited data, unlimited users, unlimited everything, right? We support your admins. We teach a man to fish, and then they can teach others, right? So for predictive stuff, you can take all of that data and your back office data and all your stats, tie it all together with, your HR systems, your payment processing systems. We're actually going to be offering our own payment processing. We're going to be doing a private label of a big venture that's coming up probably sometime early next year. I'm advocating for the little guy, the guy on the front end, and I'm positioning the business systems to build a matrix structured community in order to empower all the new generations coming up, alpha, Z's, Y's, everything, and I want to give them business tools and systems and access. I'm even working with retired people to provide courses and training and stuff. We're connecting the dots, and I'm decentralizing and democratizing so much of this stuff.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, we got none other than Dave Chrysler stuff.
Man, the one and only. So talk about, we need Dave back on the show. My mentor. God, I love that guy. So Dave, happy New Year.
Hello, friends, and happy Friday. So we got Muhammad stopped by and said, Mark is expert. I agree. Definitely know what you're talking about here.
Thank you, Muhammad.
Absolutely. All right, so let's dive in. So, all right, Damon, did you get that drum set yet? Remember we mentioned about getting that drum set. You got the drum roll ready?
Yeah.
Let's do, everybody do your drum roll out there. You guys are having lunch in the east, whatever time zone you're in. If you're having lunch, do a little drum roll. So, Mark Vanderwarf, what is the big announcement today that you'd like to share with everybody?
A big announcement today is that Shabam and sponsor company Smart Logistics LGSTX. So smartlgstx.com and Shabam sha-bam.com are sponsoring this ecosystem of everything I was just explaining called SMFGX, Sustainable Manufacturing Exchange Expo Experts Experience. Like the X stands for the infinite power of the community. And so that's it can also be, you know, strategic marketing for good and excellence. You know, you can they're just letters. So we make them up anything you want them to be. I want to hear what you guys come up with, but I want it to be, you know, the South by Southwest of stuff. You know, it's going to be online, it's going to be hybrid. Shabam has a new product called Gatherport that's going to be events.shabam. We're going to be doing virtual summits and conferences just like a real world one. We can even do them hybrid in tandem with a real world event. And so multiple floors, multiple stages, just like self-directed, guided through your own event, right? And you can have sidebar conversations, great for speed networking, all kinds of stuff with that. So that's coming out this year. SMFGX is this community, and today, right now, you can go to smfgx.com, and in the upper right hand corner, you're gonna see a little video, and then you're gonna see a little newsletter sign up for the newsletter to get alerted and things. And then in the upper right hand corner, you can click on it, and it's going to go to hub.smfgx. And so that is the community channels on everything. We're going to be connecting all these experts, and it's going to be a marketplace of ideas, a marketplace to connect the digital thread. Nobody does it all. Siemens, GE, Vernova, Rockwell Automation, Deloitte, I mean, you name it, from consultancy groups all the way through, nobody does it all, right? And so we need to connect this digital thread. We need to talk to these experts. And, you know, I worked with the team in Informa to help launch the Sustainable Manufacturing Expo that's going to be next week in Anaheim at MDN, co-located with MD&M West. Super pumped about that. And I want to keep that going. I want to keep the baton going and build a community around all of it for sustainable business models in manufacturing and beyond, right? And so, you know, ROI driven scarcity software, scarcity mentality, you know, king of the hill, insulate, isolate, brace. I got mine for me, that whole thing. That now it's regulatory driven, now it's consumer driven, and you know, like there's all these pieces of why it's gonna burn the bridge, right? So investor driven even. So we want to, you know, we want to embrace an abundance mentality, and we want to model and train people and show people what that looks like and how you can have longevity and stewardship and sustainability in an abundance mindset, right? So that's a lot of what we're doing. I'll be there next week at the Smart Logistics booth, again, Smart LGSTX, and we're going to be going around and preaching the gospel of abundance.
There you go.
Preaching the gospel of abundance. Drop the mic, Mr. Mark. And so, man, what a privilege that like you're announcing this on with us.
Yeah.
Damon, we got a few more comments.
Yeah. Andrew stops by and goes, Mark has already filled my life with joy. And then Greg Michio drops a comment. It's not common knowledge, but Mark does not sleep. He has never actually slept a day in his life. It's the only way he can possibly pull off all the things he has done. So we got to remember that and figure out how not to sleep, I guess. Gail stopped by. What a phenomenal show today. Mark Vanderwarf explained things well and love the name Shabam. Connect the digital thread. Wow. Thanks, Gail, for the comments. Thanks, everybody, for keeping them coming. Keep them coming. Let's keep it rolling, Kurt.
Yeah, let's keep it rolling, Mark. Okay, so all right, give us the domain again. We'd love for everybody. As a matter of fact, go like let's crash the server right now, Mark. Like give the domain again. Like where should they go to check you out?
Can I dump it in the chat even? It's smfgx.com. And then hub.smfgx.com. And you can sign up, hit the sign up underneath all the login stuff. It says new user, sign up, and then you'll have to wait for me to admit you. So you guys can't go crashing the server on me. So I'll admit you one at a time.
Got it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And the thing is, all of these websites, and you can go to markvanderwarf.com and see a bunch of, probably 10 or 12 of the things I've been working on and what I'm into, markvanderwarf.com. And all of this stuff is built on Shabam. We're eating our own dog food. It's amazing technology of stand on the shoulders of giants. It took us 3 years to learn it. Me and my business partner, shout out to Josh Northrup. And just so many people. We've now got, we just crossed the threshold of 26 companies, and we're pushing almost 80 users now on Shabam. And
Nice.
We're just getting started, literally.
All right, I'm putting markvanderwarf.com. If you guys see that, it's in
Got it. Yep.
in the chat there. I don't know if it goes to LinkedIn, Damon. It looks like it's going out to a few other socials.
Yep.
But again, check out Mark.
Yep.
Connect with Mark on LinkedIn. Go to his website, markvanderwarf.com. And again, the acronym, if I'm looking at it right now, SMFGX.com. That's where you want them to go. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. I know we're coming into time. Mark, let's start winding down. Dude,
sure.
You know what? He's like,
I got all day. You guys are my aspirational identity. You guys are my heroes. I'm so privileged to be here.
Oh my God, are you kidding?
It makes me so excited. My hat's spreading around.
We're so humbled. All right, let's start. We're going to start winding down here for a couple things.
All right.
First off, okay, we want to catch Mark at Industrial Marketing Summit. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be there as well, Mark. And so I can't wait to catch your session. Right. And so go to IMS, sign up for it. Right. Just go, you know what? Just buy your plane ticket right now. Just go to the website, sign up right now. And I'm telling you, if you talk to Mark, you think he's fascinating online, you meet him and Mark, I can tell you exactly where we were standing. You have a natural ability of giving a lasting impression on people. And I'm going to say it online, dude, you inspire me to be a better husband. And I'm saying, I put it on public. Mark, I tell you, you are you're like a Renaissance man. You know that? You're like the Renaissance man. So, all right, let's go here. Yeah. I have a question.
To that point, could I just do a quick shout out? If there's anybody out there struggling, or they're trying to figure things out and be there for their loved ones and their family on a personal level, I invite you to check out my personal journey with my wife and I on supportfriends.org. Supportfriends.org. We invite people right into our lives, right alongside of us. On supportfriends.org, you can hear our journey of our marriage and my wife's battle with EDS, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and my helping as a caregiver and stuff. And it's been a huge forcing function for us to just learn how to communicate, learn how to care for each other, learn how to love on other people, and allow through humility and stuff to allow people to come in and serve us and care for us. That has been the biggest challenge for me as someone that's I'm a self-made man. I'm pulling myself up by my bootstraps. I'm going to go do stuff. And to invite a stranger into your home to come in and fold your laundry or clean your floor because, you had shoulder surgery or a full replacement from 3 decades of pulling on wrenches and chain falls, but to allow someone to come in, frail older people that are more able-bodied than you, it's so humbling. But I can't thank all of them enough. My business community, my friendship community, my family community, and our church community coming alongside of us with supportfriends.org. I envision that becoming its own platform where businesses can actually give this away as a perk for companies, right? So they could have B2B-tail.supportfriends.org, right? Mm-hmm. And you could have your employees each have a page, because once you need help, it's kind of too late. Yeah. And that communication and those systems, automations and everything, we're using Shabam on the back end to drive it. And so anyway, supportfriends.org, great thing. Learned so much through that. And thank you so much for your kind words, Kurt. You are an absolute inspiration. And whenever I'm down and out, you've always had these encouraging words. And Damon, you as well. Just you're just raw power and talent, and everything has just been encouraging and helped keep me going. You guys, I mean, I owe a lot to you guys. You don't even know.
Wow.
So,
Yeah. All right, man. I dropped supportfriends.org in the chat. Again, like, all right. David, we usually say this at the very end. I'm going to say it now. Like, you know, you got to go back, like hit the replay button. You got to catch all this. Please, I encourage you. I invite you. I welcome you. Connect with Mark on LinkedIn. Just what a dynamic individual. Let's grab Gail's comment.
Yeah, Gail's comment here. Thanks, Gail, for dropping another comment. Humility, very powerful words and definitely needed. Thank you for sharing your personal story. Mark, friends, family, church, spiritual families are so important. Asking and getting help is vital. And that's, you know, it is, as you said, growing up in situations where that's not the common thing that we're taught to do. It is very humbling and very helpful, because if you do it, it may encourage somebody else to do it.
Absolutely.
And I don't think there is a person listening to the show today that hasn't been affected by someone that has taken their life, hurt them, you got hurt because of this stupid stuff, or done things with drugs, alcohol, whatever, because they didn't ask and get the help.
Yes. It's vital. And here's the thing is we can look out for others. There's signs, there's hotlines, there's all that stuff, but we need to look out and we need to be vigilant for those around us. I mean, my job is making friends. And when I'm doing that, I can, you know, first and foremost, I want to make sure that they're okay on a personal level.
Yeah.
Nothing else matters. I mean, it doesn't. So yeah, amazing stuff. I mean,
man, who knew we were going here today? So Damon, how about what Harry's got a comment here.
Harry, thanks for the comment. Great show. Great guy. Bravo. Thanks for dropping another comment, Harry.
Okay. We're gonna close, man. We're gonna close out tons of mic drop here.
Yeah.
Mark, as we close out, serial entrepreneur, whether you're sharing with your younger self or maybe somebody out there is just really aspiring to start their kickstart their own entrepreneur journey, whether they're in their 20s, maybe they're 70, who knows, somewhere in between. What's the best business advice that you've ever received or that you would like to share? Best business advice that you've ever received or would like to share?
Oh man, I don't want to mess it up. I'm going to read it right from my thing here. This is one of my inspirational things. It sits on my desktop, right? I combined two things, something my father told me growing up and something my wife shared with me about a year ago. And I put it together in: pick a path, pay attention, pray, move tenaciously. The message is more important than the messenger, so bring others with you. Pick a path, pay attention, pray, and move tenaciously. The message is more important than the messenger, so bring others with you. And that has fueled a lot of my life, but especially this last year with that new refined clarity. And I didn't realize my ego and my pride and my arrogance was so big that I just needed to simply get out of the way of myself. And just like when I'm in flow state playing music, it has to be so repetitive that you can't get it wrong, right? And practice. When something is new, you feel like a fraud and you haven't learned it yet. So you feel like you're faking it. And in fact, you're facing it. So face it till you make it. Reframe that to face it till you make it. And it feels fraudulent because you're learning. And when you're learning, you just need reps. And so you need to face it till you make it. You need to get those reps in. And what you're doing, you're either creating or you're consuming. And if you're consuming, you're taking in something somebody else did, right? So if you're creating, you have the authority, the power, the vigilance, and you can put those things into practice, right? So I encourage people to start creating in any gifting that they have. And what you're making and doing is more important than anything else, because all the rest of us on planet Earth, we need you. And there's only one of you. And we need your giftings, your talent, your skills, your abilities. I need you. Kurt needs you. Damon needs you. We can't do this alone. No backbone has a, there's no headless monster running out. There's lots of headless monsters, but there's no floating heads, right? Like, so we need everybody, right? And I just really believe in community and family and building just these ecosystems of warmth and confidence.
Just letting it go.
Mark, we're just gonna. There's nothing that can be said to follow that. We're just gonna savor. Hey, let's see if it works, Damon. Does it work? Does it work? Does it work? There it is. There it is.
All right.
You see that?
Guys.
See the hearts?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Mark, thank you.
I got to get in on this game.
There you go.
All right.
Damon, try it out, dude. Try it out. Try to drop some hearts.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not using that kind of computer. I know it won't do it. Yeah.
All right. We do need to close out. So
Yes,
Mark,
thank you so much.
Everybody out there, man, you've been hanging out with us for past however long it's been. How about a great opportunity? Could stand up. Let's give a huge standing ovation to Mark Vanderwarf for just absolutely just destroying it today.
Yep.
Positive force, contagious enthusiasm. What, like, Damon, I've got to go run through a wall right now. So there's the balloons right there. So Mark, I want to thank you. I appreciate you, applaud you. Cannot wait to see you in person in 4 weeks from today. And again, I invite everybody, check out Mark on LinkedIn, check out his website, check out friendssupport.org. What a great mission, great organization. And I'll tell you, as we close out today, man, just go out and be someone's inspiration, just like Mark, and like you're going to make the world a better place. Damon, take it away, man.
I'm alongside.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Mark, for being here today. We appreciate you stopping by the show and sharing with us your journey, what's going on, and the great things that are happening. I want to talk to everyone that got into this late. You want to go back to the beginning. You do not want to miss what Mark had to say throughout the show about live marketing, industrial marketing, whatever you want to hear in this around this topic. You need to go back and listen to it from the beginning. And those of you that were listening but not commenting, I don't want to forget you, because you're out there doing that week in, week out. Listen to the show. We love that you're there, and we appreciate you. Have a great weekend, everyone. We'll be back again next week with another great guest.
There you go. Shabam.
All right. We'll finish up